da. Hey, banana see ya coming your day. Banana see ya coming your day. Oh, did you see how better me have it price? Banana see ya coming your day. What's on your summer tough when you walk? Banana see ya coming your day. Banana see ya coming your day. Come in your day, come in your day. What do we see? Better me heavy price. Banana see ya, come in your day. More than the mojo, better me heavy price. Banana see ya, come in your day. Banana see ya, come in your day. Banana see ya, come in your day. Enjoy it, banana see ya, come in your day. You are alive today. You should give thanks to God. 10th month in this year. I love October because October brings me a lot of memories. I know that this October is going to bring us good blessings. Any which way, start this month on a good note. Have you said a prayer? Start this month with a lot of blessings, and for you to command this month into your favor, there's always one thing you only have to do, that is to pray. Pray and to pray and to pray. The mistake that most Christians do is to start a day or start the month, start the week without committing and asking for favor. God itself says that we should command the day into our favor. Command the day into your favor. Command the month into your favor. Command the week into your favor. Any which way. 10th October, 10th month. 1st October 2020. If you are alive, take a moment and say thank you, Jesus. And of course, if today is your birthday, you want to say a happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Kwame Enin inside Swotwom. Happy birthday if you are an October born. And of course, to every October born, they like to prefix their birthday to the start of the month. They always love to just start celebrating their birthday at the beginning of the month. If you are such, I want to say happy birth month to you. So as usual, this is the Rise Up Morning Show on Radio Guy Online. My name is Judith Emefa Bafa, and of course, 2 solid hours of good music and current issues, discussions, and also reading your messages. I am going to be your host with all humility. So if you're live on our Facebook, thank you so much for joining us. And as usual, we love to start this day, we love to start our show with some motivation. Hamilton says, Monio, you have not heard, giving thanks to God. In this moment, take just like a couple of minutes. Say thank you, Jesus. Just salute him. Thank you, God. In whatever you do believe in. I do believe the majority of Ghanaians do believe in God. You Allah, you are Muslim. So closer than a brother. Many times, gratitude comes from when you are you realize what has been done for you. When you don't know what has been done for you, there is no way that you can possess the spirit of gratitude. The spirit of gratitude is always something you should possess. Every morning, wake up with that spirit of gratitude. No matter how much negative you are, gratitude is something that should never, ever leave you. Today on our motivation, I want to share with you an Indian proverb that people most people do believe, and it's something that I believe probably you have heard before, but you have not taken it from the perspective that I will be taking. There is this Indian proverb that says that everyone is a house with 4 rooms. Every human being is being connoted to a house with 4 rooms. Just like the way in our houses, we have our hall, we have our kitchen, we have our bedroom, and probably you have your porch, or you have an extra room, or you have your closet. That is the same way every human being was created, with 4 rooms. With you, there are 4 rooms. Now, you might be thinking that I'm talking of your brain, your heart, and probably some other part of your body, but no, this is different. We are talking about your inner being. Now, these 4 rooms are basically your physical, your mental, your emotional, and your spiritual being. Every human being is made up of these 4 things: your mental, your physical, your emotional, and your spiritual being. Now, ask yourself this morning that, are you able to live in all of these 4 rooms? Well, it's something that can take you a while before you can answer. But these 4 rooms, you have to live in them no matter what. There is no way in your house you say, I only live in my bedroom, I don't go to the washroom, I don't go to the kitchen, I don't go to the hall. Maybe there are some days that you wouldn't want to sit at the hall. There are some days that you wouldn't, probably you are fasting, so you wouldn't be at the kitchen. But there is no way you can live without not living in all of these 4 rooms. That is the same way you can't live as a human being if you are not aware of your physical well-being, your mental well-being, your emotional well-being, and your spiritual well-being. Now, most of us tend to live in one room most of our times. We live just in one room most of our times. And if you are that person, you are not living. You have to live in all of these 4 rooms. Now, unless you go to every room every day, you would never be a complete person. You would never be a complete person if you only live in the physical. You will never be a complete person if you only live in the mental. And you will never be a complete person if you only live in the emotional and the spiritual. You can't always be emotional and tend not to think about how your life is going. You tend not to think about how probably your emotions are affecting your decisions, how probably your spirituality is not going well, how your spirituality is actually affecting your mentality and your physical well-being. Your physical well-being, your mental well-being, your spiritual well-being, and your emotional well-being are all rooms that if you want to be a complete human being, you should live in. Somebody might ask me that, how do I live in the physical? Well, it is all about being mindful of what you eat, being mindful of what you put on your body, being mindful of what you apply on your body, and being mindful of where you actually place your body. So basically, people say eating right and exercise is how you can be physically well. It is really important. How about mental? With mentality, what you feed in your brains is what makes you. So if you always want to feed your brain with what goes on the internet, if you are always a social media person, if you are somebody that is not mindful of what goes in your mind, what you listen to, what you hear, what you read, what you decide to listen to, what you decide to think about, there is no way you are going to produce some sort of productivity in your life. So with your mental well-being, be very mindful of what you tend to listen to. Be very mindful of what you read. Be very mindful of the kind of things that comes out of your mouth. Be very mindful of the kind of things that you say to people. Be very mindful of the kind of things that you think about. If you think negatively, you would produce negative results. If you think positively, you will always produce a positive result. What about emotional? Emotional intelligence is something that most people do not possess, and nobody was born with some sort of emotional intelligence. As time goes on, as life becomes hard, as life becomes favorable, we always tend to grow emotionally. There are times that you will cry, and if that time comes, allow your soul to cry. After all, we are water. We are 70% made of water, and if you are crying, it is not a big deal. Sometimes crying or letting out your emotions is never a sign of you being weak, but it's a sign of you cleansing your spirit, cleansing yourself, cleansing that inner part of you, or that inner room that you have to be living in. And what about the spiritual? Most people say that I do believe in God, I do believe in a supernatural being. But how well does your spirituality, or how well do you clean your spiritual room? That particular room is something that most people don't like talking about, because they feel spirituality is in the heart. Yes, spirituality is in the heart. But if you live well in your spiritual room, it will reflect in your physical, your mental, and your emotional rooms. Do not live in only one room. Do not live only in the physical, and do not live only in the mental. Do not live only in the emotional, and do not live only in the spiritual. As every day passes by, make sure to spend time in all of these four rooms. And that is the first step in ensuring that you are living a complete life. This is how we start our show today on the Rise Up Morning Show. Remember, we are live on Facebook at Radio Guy Online, or at Radio Guy GH if you are on Instagram, and also on YouTube at Radio Guy Online. In a bit, I will be sharing with you current issues, and of course, Black Sugar is here with me to review our newspapers for today. My name is Judith Emefa Agbafa. Stay tuned.
Always alright. This is Radio Guy.
Broken hearted, come to Jesus now. Come ye who hunger, come to Jesus now. Come ye broken hearted, come to Jesus now. Ye who test after righteousness, come to Jesus now. He's the bread of life, the living water. Come to Jesus now. He's the bread of life, the living water. Come to Jesus now. Ready? Missy, yes, we are about it. Broken hearted, come to Jesus now. Now see, please come. Come ye thirsty one, come to Jesus now. Come ye broken Yesu ya ibata.
Yesu ya kwabododa, ya kwabododa.
Yesu ya ibata.
Yesu ya kwabododa, ya kwabododa.
Wonderful. Okay, say me saying, eh? Also, kada Yesu ya ibata na ya kaden. Iye tadi fancy. Another one. Then we will go down. I'm asking again. Ossi, Yesu ya bade.
Yesu ya kwabododa, ya kwabododa.
Obiara kada ebade, 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 ebade. Oh, Yesu ya bade.
Yesu ya kwabododa, ya kwabododa.
Mission Piero Betipino. Mission Piero Bonopino. Mission Piero Betipino. Hey, yeah. Mission Piero Bonopino. Mission Piero Betipino. Mission Piero Bonopino. Piero, Piero, Piero Betipino. Mission Piero Bonopino. Listen, yes, yeah, one more time, yes, yeah, Kojo, yes, yeah, Kojo, yes, yeah, à cette fois, mais c'est yes, yeah, yes, yeah, Charles, Missy, yes, yeah, Cabanese, c'est quoi? Missy, yes, yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. Everybody, yes, yeah, one more time, yes, yeah,
Always alright. This is Radio Guy. Always alright. This is Radio Guy.
things are not the same anymore. Crystal sweet, iron something. Things are not the same anymore. Crystal sweet, iron something. Say,
Things are not the same anymore. Crystal sweet, iron sent me. Things are not the same anymore. Crystal sweet, iron sent me.
15 ways to be successful. 13 ways to make much money. But the one way to make it to heaven, preach your mind, you don't preach your body. Listen, last Sunday I heard you preach. I must confess, I was confused. Was that church or Gimpa?
Ba-na-na-na-na-na-na. 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 Ba-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Say things are not the same iron some. He said, things are not the same anymore. Crystal sweet, iron some. Target for the next harvest. For how else can we buy the preacher's dream car? Yet in the same church we've got Mr. Abuaji, who can't even afford a 3 square meal. Things are not the same anymore. The sheep is being slaughtered for the shepherd. Ow! Listen, we've got to walk like the preacher, talk like the preacher, and style our hair like the preacher man. What happened to becoming like Jesus, the man who died to save our souls? I said things are not the same anymore. Christos me, I am something. Things are not the same anymore. Christos me, I am something. Things are not the same anymore. Christos me, I am something. Our message, diluted the word, just to win a few awards. But what shall it profit a man if he gains the whole world, yet loses his soul? Hey, ba-na-na-na-na-na-na, 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 ba-na-na-na-na-na. Just in case you don't like my message, you can't deny the beaten idol. To the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, let us dance together now. Say, things are not the same anymore. Christos sweet, I am something. Things are not the same anymore. Christos sweet, I am something. Things are not the same anymore. Christos sweet, I am something. Things are not the same anymore. Christos sweet, I am something.
With Hosanna. Before that, I want to say a big shout out if you're tuned in on our Facebook live. If you are also listening to us via our app on Play Store, or if you are listening to us on your iPhone, I want to say a big shout out to you. Of course, to the whole Radio Guy crew, Kingsley, Daniel. Thank you so much. We had two handsome guys handling videography on Facebook. So they are the brain behind our Facebook Live. So anytime that you say a prayer, say one for them too, because they really are doing a good job. Yes. Don't forget to leave us a comment down below on our Facebook Live, and don't forget to share. I love it when you share our videos. Share, and also
I'm an overcomer.
Click like, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. So newspaper review is on today. I have with me my Honorable Black Sugar. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you don't know Black Sugar, I call him a deep analyst because he talks deeply, and he joins us every single day on our newspaper review, and we do have discussions same way on current issues and issues concerning our country. And today he is going to be handling the Ghanaian Times, and of course I will be taking the Daily Graphic and also the Daily Guide. So on the Daily Guide this morning, we have Nana Fires Troublemakers, Stay Ejapa IPO, according to Martin Amidu, who is the national prosecutor, and also a developing story into the legal electoral killing. Court throws out cleaner confesses Legon lecturers killing. and also on politics and on elections. Court throw out NDC over one-day registration. And also Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia is also on the front page, and he says we will defeat NDC again. And President cuts sword for Kumasi Obuasi railway line. And we are going to be looking into the big stories. And the big story for me is Nana fires troublemakers, and a cleaner confesses Legon lecturer to Legon lecturer cleaner. The president Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo has given an assurance that there is no way the government will allow any group or individuals to bring chaos to the upcoming general election under his watch. Now, he was talking at Techiman to a couple of chiefs and traditional Techimesia Traditional Council, and he's saying that he is not going to allow anything to happen under his watch this coming election. And also he also has cut sword for the Kumasi Obuasi railway as part of the new Western line being constructed. And according to Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, the MPP is better today than it was in 2016 when the party actually won from the opposition, and he is really sure that they are going to defeat the NDC again. He says there is no doubt about it, but of course we are going to get the result after the December 2020 elections. And also to Special Prosecutor of the Land Martin Amidu has called on the Ministry of Finance to suspend the initial public offer of Ejapa royalties to allow the Office of the Special Prosecutor to do corruption risk assessment in the transaction, and that is a step in the right direction. I don't know why he waited for this long to come out to say that, but well, if he is calling for it, I think I am really for it. And also NDC thrown away in court over one-day registration, and Accra High Court yesterday dismissed an emergency writ by the opposition NDC that was seeking to stop the Electoral Commission from going ahead with the one-day registration for eligible voters today. So if you don't know, today is the one-day voters registry. So if you have not had the chance to do your voters ID card registration, today is the last day. It has been open one more time for you to do that. And on page 10 of the Daily Guide, over 2,200 Ghanaian workers rescued in Lebanon. And also Nana inspects 500-bed military hospital, Kumasi Airport project. 3 chainsaw operators remanded, and school for the blind get classroom blocks. And also if you come to the page 11, there is an editorial that says that don't trust Mahama. This is from Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, and also Ghana Journalist Association and the Ghana Atomic Energy Commission (GAEC) last Tuesday signed a memorandum of understanding to promote matters bordering on nuclear energy. So we are going to be seeing more of issues concerning nuclear energy in our media since the memorandum has actually been signed out. Dome Kwabenya MP also launches manifesto. The Member of Parliament for Dome Kwabenya constituency, Sarah Ajua Safo, has launched her 2020 manifesto in the run-up for the to the upcoming elections, and she calls this one leadership of service, protecting our progress, transforming Ghana for all. And also on page 13, President's card sword for Kumasi Obuasi Railway, government gives vehicles to new varsities, and police gun down 2 robbers. National Identification Authority registers 15.5 million Ghana card holders. The registration actually had its mop-up exercise, and it was able to register much more people, and now there is a total of 15.5 million people. And at the back page of the Daily Graphic, we sports. Goldfields PGA Golf hits Daman November, and also Moreno chases Dare to toilet, and also Messi explains Barca mutiny, and Hearts ready for fresh season. So that is it for our daily guide. Black Sugar, please take us through the Ghanaian Times. It has been a wet morning in our it was quite sunny yesterday, and I was wondering, I was like, what happened? Because this forecast, but that forecast always tells us it's going to be cloudy and it becomes rainy. It becomes rainy. If it's going to be rainy and it becomes sunny, but any which way is God, and He knows what He loves to do with us.
And that's what they say. It's all about global warming.
Right.
We destroying the ozone layer, so they can make their predictions, but it's not 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And this morning also, it has been wet. It has rained in a couple of areas. It has been raining actually through dawn, and there are a couple of showers in Accra. So if you are stepping out today, well, it's not. It will be no crime to pick extra protection if you don't like the rain. Like I don't. I really don't like the rain at all. And if you are also stepping out, you can switch your heels for your high heels for shoes, because it's really, really wet out there. Black, please take us through the Ghanaian Times.
So the Ghanaian Times today. Rushing us through the major ones. So the main story in the Ghanaian Times, or on the Ghanaian Times, is police swoop mobs, swoop naps 22 suspects in home. And again, we have president inaugurate 60-bed capacity TEPA hospital. And I think these are the two main stories on the main page. And then we have government secures 92.9 million euros EU economic support grant. This should be, if it's a grant, then
Right. It's good news.
so going into the inner part of the Ghanaian Times, on page 3 we have police gun down 2 suspected armed robbers. I think this is a story that you've already touched on.
Right.
And again, we have activities of Western Togoland group. Police swap NAB 22. I think I've touched on this on the front page. On page 4, we have Asokore Mampong Municipal Assembly adjudged 2018 Best Assembly. And on page 5, we have some international news. The effort to unify soldiers in South Sudan stuck. And these are some stories which still plague our continent so much. And again, on the same page, we have Sierra Leone ex-presidents banned from leaving country. We also have French court approves transfer of Rwanda genocide suspect to UN tribunal. And some people will say the UN tribunal only seems to be working when it comes to Africans.
Right.
When it comes to dealing with Africans. And on page 6 of the Ghanaian Times, we have developing a sense of urgency. And this is okay. Let me move on to page 7. We have use heart to fight COVID-19.
Right.
Use heart
To fight COVID-19. COVID-19 is still out there, and back to lockdown, especially after there has been a huge reinfection. Oh God.
Yeah, and this the pandemic has taught us that it's able to run across borders very,
Right.
very, very, very quick.
Quickly, within
Very,
a
very
space
quick,
of
yeah.
well.
Yeah. So going on page 8 of the Ghanaian Times, we have um, Macron. Macron
France
condemns.
president.
Yeah, Macron condemns Turkey's bellicose. Bellicose. I don't understand. Macron condemns Turkey's bellicose statement on Nagorno Karabakh.
Karabakh.
Nagorno Karabakh.
Karabakh. Okay.
Karabakh fighting.
Right.
Karabakh fighting. I've not heard of that. And also, this is a follow up on the story that we read yesterday. Kuwait swears in new emir after
Right.
Sheikh Sabah
Dies
Yeah,
at the
so
age of
Sheikh Sabah,
91.
if he was in Ghana, he would be a Ghana. So
Of course. So 91 years, I think, is a celebration of life. Celebration of life for him. So
yeah, because we didn't change it. You don't?
No.
Well, for me, when it comes to that, sometimes I want to live forever. Sometimes I can't wait to die.
Well, that's deep. That's deep.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Yeah. So on page 9 of the Ghanaian Times, we have this story is a little bit faint. Ekufuado commissions Casapreco factory under 1D1F.
On the streets, one
And this is a
factory.
story that
Was
I think
in
we-
the papers yesterday.
Yeah. And PPP. Wow. Their flag bearer is so.
He said this morning that she was so beautiful. Bridget Jogbenuku. He said she was so beautiful. Well, she is a former Miss Ghana pageantry winner. So I guess yes. So she has been beautiful since not from today.
Yeah. So she's boycotting her tour in Volta region because of the secession attacks.
Right.
And it reads PPP flag bearer suspends Volta campaign due to secession attacks. And this is not good. The secession is not proven to be good for our politics this season at all.
Right. And there has been a couple of developing stories too on it. The president, the vice president so far has touched on it. So we are going to be looking at it later.
Yeah, we need them. We need them to face it head on.
Right.
Yeah. NDC to establish Okada Business Fund. It's coming from Mahama.
They are not giving up
Not
on
at
this.
all.
It
Not
looks
at all.
like this is their biggest campaign message, just like the way the free SHS was
Yeah,
for
yeah,
the.
Well, I don't know if it's enough. I don't know if it's enough, but every single vote counts. So
Right, and it looks like he has won the hearts of Okada riders in Ghana,
sure.
and they never cease to support him at any time. Anytime he's going somewhere for an interview, they are always let's see.
yeah.
But this morning I was talking to one man from Ghana Immigration Service, and he was giving me his view on it. He says that he's neither an MPP or NDC supporter, but he sees that Okada has come to stay. It is not going anywhere, and the better we Ghanaians accept it, it will be the better. And the best thing that we can do, since it is here to stay, is to actually regulate it. So I was actually not in support of it, but after hearing him say that, he was making a point, because even though it has not been legalized in Ghana, it is working. I mean, people are
And even if it's regularized,
right,
it's going to help the government,
right,
because right now as it stands now, it's rather putting more money into the pockets of the policemen.
right,
And this is one of the major reasons why they are supporting the former president so much, because
right,
he gets boarded by the police.
right,
It's very, very, very
right.
It's about So, moving on to page 11 of the Ghanaian Times, we We have New Times Corporation will remain neutral, and this is coming from their MD. Again, we have migration of public universities payroll onto GOG, mechanized system begins. On the middle page, he has the story of the president inaugurating a 60-bed capacity hospital in Tepa. On page 14, we have Education Minister present vehicles and cash to 3 new public universities. And then just below that story, we have Shia Water Project completed. Fast forward onto page 16, we have refrain from lawless cases, and this is coming from the COP of Ghana Police. That's Mr. Yeboah. And then touching on a few more stories. Let me see. We have government urged to intensify COVID-19 education in rural areas. And I think it's a good call. It's a good call. And 2 more stories. I would like to touch on 2 more stories. We have 352 police recruits pass out. They should come and help with the good cause. They should come out and help with the good cause. And my final story will be on sports, and it reads: GFA takes delivery of beach soccer footballs. Yeah, GFA takes delivery of beach soccer football.
Okay.
And that's my last story.
Right. So that was the Ghanaian Times. And moving on to the Daily Graphic this morning, the benefits of Tree Crops Development Authority. But before we get into details, want to say a big good morning to Christopher Mensah, who is watching us live on Facebook. Thank you so much. And to Positive Change Medina, as usual, left us a message. Kwekuti also saying, looking sweet this morning. Good morning, Kwekuti. And also, yes, you mean they should see me in my full regalia. Right. Christopher also says, we are watching you live. Thank you. Tino RG says, Sister Fafa and Black Sugar and the fire emoji. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in with us. And moving on to the Daily Graphic this morning, benefits of Tree Crops Development Authority, 16 billion to accrue annually. And we have a picture of Dr. Owusu Efriye Akoto, who is the Minister of Food and Agriculture. And also special supplement on China National Day. It is inside. It is on the inside story. And 1 day voter register today. NDC court action unsuccessful. And Cleaner confesses involvement in Professor Bene Meda. And a full operation of the Tree Crops Development Authority will position the country to earn about $16 billion annually from 6 selected tree crops from 2028, according to the Minister of Food and Agriculture, Dr. Owusu Efriye Akoto. That figure could double if a substantial portion of the product was processed for export. He was speaking at the inauguration of the Tree Crops Development Authority in Kumasi. And inside Africa, Nigeria develops much faster COVID-19 test kits. Now, Nigeria has developed a COVID-19 test kit that can give results in less than 40 minutes. And it does not need extensive training to use it. Big one for Nigeria. I love it. And so far, Nigeria has tested 500,000 people from a population of 200 million. And also in Africa, ban on protest in Cote d'Ivoire ends ahead of polls. French court rules Rwanda genocide suspect will be tried in Arusha court. And also onto the page 7, the editorial section of the Daily Graphic. Placement exercise under CSSPS must be seamless, and states' right to force in self-defense. Also, we have international news on our Global Outlook page. Says Trump and Biden trade insults in debate. We have a picture of the U.S. President Donald Trump and the Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden as they are participating in their 2020 presidential campaign debate. And UK Parliament approves emergency COVID-19 law. Now, Britain's Parliament approved yesterday the extension of emergency laws that give government sweeping powers to impose restrictions to halt the spread of COVID-19 after ministers diffused a rebellion by conservative lawmakers. And there is a picture of UK's Prime Minister Boris Johnson. And also, Indian court acquits BJP leaders in Babri Mosque demolition case. And then Macron calls for peaceful transition in Belarus. Then also, on the opinion page, says that when will Komla Dumont come home? If you happen to be to grab a copy of the Daily Graphic, there is an insert by Kenyan investigative reporter NTV anchor Victoria Rubadiri, who won the 2020 BBC World News Komla Dumont Award. Now, it has been 5 years since the Komla Dumont Award was actually instituted by BBC, and in honor of the ace Ghanaian journalist, there are a lot of people who are actually, a lot of Ghanaian journalists who are vying to replace him. I know I can make mention of Pakwesi Shandoff of TV Africa, one ace, another ace broadcast journalist that he's a very good friend of mine. He always talks about him, and there is an editorial here, when will Komla Dumont come home? So if you happen to grab one, you can also read it thoroughly. And also on gender, reflecting on women's right to choice on World Contraceptive Day. Today is World Contraceptive Day. So if you have not heard, I don't know if it's good news for the men, but if you have not heard, now there has been contraceptive pills for men that they can take to disable their sperm before sexual activity. So my question to you is, would you make good use of that?
Disable it how?
Disable its activity to weaken the sperm.
Oh, okay.
So instead of probably the 20 million, you could have just 5 million coming out and it wouldn't be active.
Okay.
So would you take that? Could that be an option for you?
The problem
contraceptives. You men allow women to take contraceptives, and you men force women to take contraceptives. Okay.
Apart from condoms.
All right. Oh, okay. So if it is not on, it's not in, I guess. Okay, so on special focus, Cargill makes 6 million Ghana cedi sustainability payment for cocoa farmers. So cocoa promised to our farmers this year has been, I would say, a green grass for cocoa farmers. And also to politics, Navrongo Central Constituency, where will the pendulum be? And on the sad part of it, Cleaner confesses involvement in Professor Benis Meda. Now, the prosecution in the case involving the Meda of senior law lecturer of the University of Ghana, Professor Emmanuel Yao Bene, has told the Kanishi District Court that a cleaner in the deceased house, James Nana Womba, has confessed his involvement in the gruesome act. Now, Womba was arrested and arraigned on September 16th this year, together with 3 others. Now, the 3, Christian Pobi, 32, a cleaner, Isaac Botre, 41, a houseboy, and Adams Mensa Mansuru, who is 52, is also a gardener, were, however, discharged by the court. And we are still waiting for details of that. Deal with violent sectionists. NDC PPP urge government, and we will be fair to all political parties, EC assures, and also government, NDC government, to produce homes, care for the aged and others, according to Mr. Johnson Isiedu Inketia. And also to some business news, IMF commends Ghana for higher incomes to cocoa farmers. 8 graduates from Anglo Gold Ashanti training program, and also Oil Palm Association calls for land use policy. And to our telcos demand tax report from Ghana River Authority. And also to the middle part of our newspaper, China, Ghana support each other fight COVID. And also there are news of preventing and controlling the COVID-19 outbreak in Ghana. Now going back to page 26, young generation dominates business space. Young generation dominates business space, and in the last 8 years, about 60% of all businesses in the country have been operated and owned by young people below 40 years, according to the Minister of Business and Development. That is a good thing. We are going to be taking an insight on that. And ZPay, Visa dipping digital payment in Ghana, efforts to boost Ghana-Italy trade underway, and national identification complete exercises and registers more than 15 million people. And also Ghana secures 92.9 pounds euro grant for COVID-19. So a step in the right direction. And also, if you happen to be in the banking sector, there is an editorial on the business section, say digital or phygital banking, best of both worlds. So you can grab a copy and get into that. And finally, for the daily graphics, is President inaugurates hospital at Tepa, which was in the Ghanaian Times, and Hyundai or Hyundai. Somebody told me that Ghanaians have been pronouncing it wrong all this time. It is not Hyundai, but it is Hyundai.
Really?
Well, Hyundai, or whatsoever. Motors and Investment Ghana Limited has presented a number of medical items worth 20,000 Ghana cedis to the Accident and Emergency Center of the Kwalibu Teaching Hospital to support operations at the center. So that is it for our newspaper. Now a short musical break, and we will be visiting our online portal to see some of the trending stories before we proceed with our discussion today. Stay tuned.
Over Satan power, 'cause I ain't good more. I'm an overcomer. Yes, we're doing good more. Over Satan power, 'cause I ain't good more. See, I'm an overcomer. 'Cause say yes, we're doing good. Yes, we're doing good. Over Satan power, 'cause I ain't good. I'm an overcomer. I say yes, we're doing good. Yes, we're doing good. Over Satan power, 'cause I ain't good. I'm wedding kunimo. See, I'm an overcomer. Listen, no weapon fashioned against me shall prosper. For the greater one lives in me, yes it does, yes. Yes, wedding kunimo. See, I'm an overcomer. I say yes, wedding kunim.
Yes, wedding kunim.
I'll say
Over Satan power. Desire in kunim.
see, I'm an overcomer.
I'm an overcomer.
I say yes, wedding kunim.
Yes, wedding kunim. Over Satan power. Desire in kunim. I'm an overcomer.
I'm a ding now, I'm into Hosanna.
Hosanna.
I am for you now,
Hosanna.
Jesus Nurbano.
Hosanna.
I am for you now,
Hosanna.
I'm into Hosanna.
Hosanna.
I mean, you know, I'm about to say, Jesus Nurbano.
Hosanna.
I am for you now, Kojo, come on. I am for you now,
Hosanna.
hey, Jesus Nurbano.
Hosanna.
I'm into Hosanna.
Hosanna.
Hey, I am for you now,
Hosanna.
handkerchief. I'm into Hosanna.
Hosanna.
I am for you now,
Hosanna.
Jesus Nurbano.
Hosanna.
I am for you now,
Hosanna.
I'm into Hosanna.
Hosanna.
To the King and Lord of Lords we say.
Hosanna.
Listen, yes, wedding kunimo.
Hosanna.
See, I'm an overcomer.
Hosanna.
I say yes, wedding, yes, wedding. Hey, watch out, walk, go, hey.
Always alright. This is Radio Guy.
You can't celebrate with us, come on. Catch it, I'm on mobile, I'm free mobile. Watch out, time, we are me. Hey!
Always alright. This is Radio Guy.
Majoyi, minyumo, Jemon chogala ibi susuma. 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 Draw money and in the draw, Yehovah day. They can be, you come in, you qua. I can make belly with some flexiana. Good in Jomo, and they are straight, you know. Draw money can in the draw, Chopella day. They can be, you come in, you qua. I can make belly with some flexiana. Good in Jomo, and they are straight, you know. Majoyi, Majoyi, minyumo, Jemon chogala. All right, say. Draw money, can in the draw, Chopella day.
Always alright. This is Radio Guy.
Stepping into Accra, it is raining. It's raining quite, not really that much heavily, but then it's actually raining. So if you are stepping out or you are about to step out, please take extra precaution and to visit some major online portals in Ghana. To start with, My Joy Online says Volta sectionist, we will deal with them. Security agencies up to tax, according to President Nana Danko Akufo-Addo. Professor Benes Cleaner confirms this involvement in the matter. And the big one, Akufo-Addo has nothing to show after borrowing 140 billion Ghana cedis, according to John Dramani Mahama, all in the attempt to win December 2020 elections. And also, sectionist attacks, government will not negotiate with criminals, according to Vice President Mahamadou Bawumia. And legally, Ghana doesn't exist, according to Kusi Kedem. And National Science and Maths Quiz 2020, high scoring St. Peter's Steam Rose Breku and Notre Dame Schools SHS. And photos of MPP supporters who were yesterday at the multimedia group premises. Yesterday we saw that there was a huge, should I say, traffic? There was a huge traffic yesterday on the Kokomlemle area. And also, to talk about COVID-19 today, currently Ghana is still holding a total of 301 deaths, 45,757 total recovered, and so far we have a total of 46,626. Now globally there has been a total of 34,184,981 deaths. Sorry, 981 cases. So we have more than 34.1 million cases worldwide, and the death globally is 1,019,165 deaths globally, and we have a number of 25,446,698 recoveries so far worldwide. So I think all in all, I think Ghana's cases, we are reducing drastically, and it's a good thing. But we are just praying that as some countries are recording cases of reinfection, Ghana, yes, there are about 10 million active cases. Yes. So to City News Room, Amasaman MPP executives ran to court to block parliamentary candidates from filing nomination, and only 64 of one district, one factory project are privately owned. And also, EC's one-day voters registration comes off today. 2020 polls: good works of MPP deserves another victory, according to the Garu chief. Garu Timpani is in the northern region of Ghana. Quite a place. I have been there before. So Garu is called Garu Timpani, but it's a combination of two communities, Garu and Timpani, but we normally call it Garu Timpani. So according to the Garu chief, he says that good works of MPP deserves another victory. And also, to audit services justification for delay in submitting 2019 audit report unconvincing, according to Mutaka. And we will deal with sectionist group Nana Dankwa Kufuado, and Mahama is an archbishop of promises, according to Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia. And Asokore Mampong tops 2018 local government contract assessment ranking. PNC elect David Apasera as flag bearer for 2020 general elections. And NDC refiles lawsuit against EC one-day voters register exercise, which has actually been it has actually been sacked out of court. Court says that they have no cause to pursue the suit. So now going into BBC, now yesterday the big one for BBC was Trump and Biden. They were on the front page of the BBC, and their debates was all of it. It was all, they say they just ran insult on each other and all that. But on the BBC today, I don't know if you know John. You do know John Legend and his wife Chrissy Tingen. They revealed that they have lost their baby. Apparently, she was pregnant with their third child, and she lost her. She had a miscarriage. She said that they tried all they could to save the child's life, but the child just died, and it's a very sad one. And also, the 12 Hong Kong activists have been captured at sea, and Australian jailed for stomping on pregnant stranger, and EU legal action over controversial UK Brexit bill, and Russia offers to host Nagorno-Karabakh peace talks, and also Google Pixel phone design for economic downturn in the technological news there. And Pope Francis reject US Secretary of State meeting. UK asylum seekers could be processed on old ferries. So now the question on BBC today is, who won the debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump? Well, that is it. Now, Black, let's take a look at the big ones today in our stories. The press, let's look at the developing story on the sectionist attack on the country. Now, it's been for a while now, and we are now hearing the president talking about it. Now, apparently, he has said that he doesn't need to panic, because when he panics, the country will actually panic. So they are actually going to deal with them. Why do you think it has taken that long for the president to say something about it?
Well, in issues like this, you have to be very, very delicate in the steps that you take. So I think the government, it's still on course. They are putting measures in place to make sure that this does not become another Nigeria, or Ghana does not become another Nigeria.
Right.
But I believe if the president had come to say something very early, it would calm a lot of nerves. Even though what he said is on the right path.
Right.
But if he had said it earlier, at least a day or two after these incidents happened, it would have calmed a lot of nerves, and maybe, just maybe, the PPP.
Do you think that we have a cause to panic over this session? We don't have a cause to panic. Now, according to the Vice President, Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, he also said that we are not going to negotiate with terrorists. There is no way Ghana is going to negotiate with terrorists. So, if you are...
That is funny. I think it happened the same. The US also said the same thing.
Right, but they do end up always negotiating with criminals.
Yes, I think even... was it last week?
Right.
Afghanistan.
Right.
The government negotiating with the Taliban, it was chaired or it was championed by US. So with negotiations, you, this it has not gotten to the place where you use force. There has to be a dialogue somewhere. There has to be some sort of dialogue somewhere. So not negotiations
Per se.
but there should be some form of dialogue.
Now, let's look at how the country, do you think citizens in Ghana are actually worried over this sectionist group? It looks like, in as much as the media is talking about it, the individuals are not really taking it that much serious. Why do you think that is so?
Well, someone would say this sort of thing happening in Ghana they would have expected it coming from the north.
Right.
Because that is the place where we've had incidents which almost escalated into a civil war or something. But due to those kind of things that have gone, Yana's passing and the war, the Nanumba Kukumba thing that has gone on for a while, and it wasn't able to bring the nation down. I think Ghanaians feel like this is another passing phase in our history, and it will just fade away. So we are not giving it much thought. I believe the fear or the panic will come when they begin moving to other regions.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, yesterday, a security expert analyst also said that they are going to be, if we don't take care, these people are going to be moving to other regions. Same way. And Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has said that they are not taking chances any which way, and I think it's a good thing. Now let's shift a little bit to Ijapa royalties. Now, according to the special prosecutor Martin Amidu, every negotiation on it should hold so that the office of the special prosecutor can run a corruption assessment on it. Why do you think it has taken this long for the special prosecutor of the land to, because he is there for corruption purposes, he is there to
that office has not been able to do anything.
Right.
Anything within the 4 years.
Right.
It has not been able to do anything. It's when during the vetting, we all saw how much
the zeal.
Yes, he exhibited, and he assuming office. Certain, he initially said he wasn't having enough support. He even went as far as air conditions in the offices, and all these things have been provided, and yes, still.
Do you think that office was just a ceremonial office that the NPP ensured to just make it seem as if, because we are also in for the fight against corruption? Do you think it was just a ceremonial office?
I think I heard one analyst saying that it looks as though this is a cahoots between the NPP and the NDC,
right? Just
to do something to show that they are working, but it's not, because even if it was the NPP that brought him, we were expecting him to do something. It would have been on the previous government,
right? And
even that, it hasn't yielded anything. It hasn't. That office hasn't. And even what the special prosecutor is saying now, I don't even believe it's going to.
Well, he said that he has called on the Ministry of Finance to suspend the initial public offer of the Ijapa royalties, and they are going to be running a corruption risk assessment on the transaction. Now, some of the raising questions were who is behind the Ijapa royalties, what group of people, which which group of lawyers are behind it, and all that. And of course, Ghana, the NPP have not been able to give us clear details as to what the Ijapa royalties really hold. But what we know is that the NDC is fighting so much for it not to happen, and they say there has not been a full disclosure on those behind the Ijapa royalties. Now, do you think that the special prosecutor would be able to run a corruption risk assessment in the transaction? Do you think he will be able to do that to be able to reveal any loopholes?
He should be.
Mm.
He should be. I mean, with all the powers that he has,
Right.
even normal journalists
Right.
have been able to dive real deep and give facts about this
Japan.
Ijapa issue, and then they've come out with certain allegations that it's the family and friends kind of thing that we have in our politics that's going on. So
Right.
I believe if the special prosecutor is given the needed allowance, freedom to operate, this shouldn't be a hard tax for him at all. It shouldn't.
And it shouldn't be politicized.
Not at all.
Right.
We don't need. This is one thing that we do not need in our politics.
Right.
It was. I mean, a lot of people commended the president for choosing even someone
Who is not in his party? Because
Yes.
we all know that Martin Amido is an NDC.
NDC.
Right.
And even when he was placed into office, I think some of the NDC strong supporters fought him.
Right. And
They
they thought he was trying to play a double barrel, that he just oboka krawa has and now oboka krawa ha.
So they fought him,
Right.
and we were expecting him to work.
Well,
real-
so far, I don't think, I personally don't think that the special prosecutor is really exercising his
not
powers
at all,
really
not
well.
at all, not at all.
I feel like in a way, he is either limiting his office or his office is being limited, because I was expecting cases, things like the Ijapa royalties, even before it will come out to the public, it would go through the special prosecutor's office so that they'll run an anti-corruption risk on it, assessment on it, before it even comes into the public. But it has been in the public domain for quite a while now, and we are now hearing him
Yes.
say that
Yes, exactly.
it's been almost 3 weeks. 3 weeks getting to a month now that we have been talking about Ijapa royalties, and we are now hearing from the special prosecutor. Now let's get into a bit of today's one-day voter registration. And you were saying yesterday that it's a step in the right direction.
No,
And you,
it was Ibrahim.
okay,
I was saying that I don't think it's going to make any difference.
right.
Yeah, I don't.
Now, do you think that they would be able to hit a particular mark by registering a lot of people today, especially as it is raining today, as it's a one-day voter registration thing?
You see, exactly my point that I
Right,
raised
right.
Yesterday, that just one day is not going to make any difference.
Right.
And quite unfortunately, it is raining today. You see, so I still believe this was something that wasn't needed at all. I don't think many people are going to turn out at the stations to register, and I believe this has been a waste of the taxpayers' money.
Now let's look at let's go outside Ghana. Now Nigeria has been able to make a very big step in producing and developing a COVID-19 test kit that can actually give results in less than 40 minutes. I feel Nigeria has really surprised us. And what cue do you think Ghana should be taking out of this?
Well, they are not the first. I
Right.
think it was Kenya. Kenya also did the same.
Right.
Kenya also did the same. So I believe the African continent is really picking up when it comes to these sort of things. And even with COVID-19, I think it was Madagascar who
Right.
has even claimed that they have
Yeah, a cure to
a
it.
cure to it, and the WHO is not looking into it very well. So Africa is really picking up, and Ghana, we have a lot of these things around. It's just not coming to light because the support is not there. That's the only thing. Because if you move about the streets, what you see, the kind of cures that people are herbs
Are producing.
It's so amazing. It's
And-
so amazing.
Right.
I mean, okay, not to mention names, but there is this man in Kipos,
Right.
and the man is doing so. He's doing so
He's a
marvelous
herbal
work when it comes
doctor.
to eye problems.
Right, right,
Eye problems.
right.
When you go, anyone that goes there, almost
Odini Hwandansie.
good, good. So it is there. We have it.
Do you think that in any way, as the world is trying to find a cure, and now there has been a couple of cures that are still undergoing tests, do you think Africa as a whole, at least one country will be able to bring out a cure for it to be tested? Do you think Africa, one country in Africa, will step out boldly to say we have a cure for, apart from Madagascar, will come out boldly to say we have a cure for it and it should be tested? Do you think it will be so?
Well, I think that wouldn't do much of a difference, because clearly, after Madagascar came out, you can clearly see that WHO and all the other world powers are rooting for a vaccine instead of a cure. And I believe COVID-19, since it's an immune system, if you have a strong immune system, you can really live with no symptoms, or even it's a cure to the disease. It shouldn't be hard to find a medicine, get a cure for it. But I don't think another African country coming out to say that they have a cure to it is going to make much of a difference, because we see that the world powers want a vaccine instead, because they are going to make a lot of money from vaccines. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. We can wrap up our discussion for today, since we have been behind time. Thank you so much if you join us, and we will be bringing you more. And up next is business for the day.
You're the one who woke me up this morning. You could do it over again. You give me strength so I can make it through the day. call me strong. When I am poor, you say I'm rich. I am amazed at how you do it, but I believe you're the one who woke me up this morning. You could do it over again. I am alive because your hand is still at work. When I'm weak, you call me strong. When I am poor, you say I'm rich. I am amazed at how you do it, but I believe you are able. You're more than able. Oh, so able. Lord, I believe. Yes, sir. You are able. You are able. More than able. More than able. Oh, so able. So able. Lord, I believe. Say you are able. You are able. More than able. Oh, so able. Oh, so able. Lord, I believe. Say you are able. You are able. You are able. More than able. More than able. Oh, so able. Lord, I believe. No weapon fashioned against me shall prosper. Oh no, in the mighty name of Jesus I believe. If it's a trouble, Tavia. Oh, him a God. That's all I can ever who's that. Oh, you're faithful. Nobody can change my mind. I believe. No weapon fashioned against me shall prosper. Oh no, in the mighty name of Jesus I believe. If it's a trouble, Tavia. Oh, him a God. That's all I can ever who's that. Oh, you're faithful. Nobody can change my mind. I believe. You are able. More than able. Oh, so able. Lord, I believe. Say you are able. You are able. More than able. More than able. Oh, so able. Lord, I believe. Lord, I believe. No weapon fashioned against me shall ever prosper. In Jesus' name, if you set me trouble, tape ya. Only him will die. Now so much enemy who said, oh, you're faithful. Nobody can change my mind. I believe you are able, more than able, also able. Lord, I believe you said you are able, more than able, also able. I believe you, sir. Say you are able. Yes, sir. More than able. I believe it. Also able. And I receive it. Say you are able. I believe it. More than able. And I receive it. Also able. Lord, I believe. You are able. Lord, I believe. Also able. Lord, I
Only God. Yeah.
I love it.
I'm a winner, not a loser, overcomer. I am more than a conqueror. I'm a winner, not a loser, overcomer. Hey, I am more than a conqueror. I swear it. I swear it. I swear that weapon form against me. I swear it. I swear it. I swear that weapon form against me. In the name of Jesus, I swear. By the power of the Holy Ghost, I swear. I swear that weapon form against me. Oh, Lord.
I swear you. I swear you. I swear you. I swear you.
Nanka so peso kum David. Eti watu ne jain. Otu ne jain enso. Otu anu wasu wabi. Nanka so peso kum David. Kwa. Eti watu ne jain sa. Otu ne jain enso. Otu anu wasu wabi. Sana devu peso yemme. Hey. Sana devu peso kum me. Hey. Sana devu peso saibi. Otu ne jain enso. Otu anu wasu wabi. In the name of Jesus, I swear.
any weapon formed against me.
Oh, here the impact. No. You're ready, was. No.
I swear any weapon formed against me.
Oh, here the impact. No. Damn body impact. No. Who the impact?
I swear any weapon formed against me.
Lincoln, Bobby Xylophone. Yeah.
I swear to you. 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 I swear to you.
In the name of Jesus,
I swear.
by the power of the Holy Ghost,
I swear. I swear any weapon formed against me.
in the name of Jesus,
I swear.
by the power of the Holy Ghost,
I swear. I swear any weapon formed against me.
I'm a winner, not a loser. Overcome.
Want to say a big shout out to YMV Saved Lucci, who is on our Facebook Live. I believe Tino RG, Christopher Mensa, and Kwekuti, and to also Positive Change Madina. Now he left us a message and he says that fellow Ghanaians, the time has come for Ghana. The time has come again for us to send back this elephantine family and friends government with corruption, intimidation, and recklessness to opposition. This is the only way our dear country can redeem. This is the only way our dear country can redeem its image as the gateway to Africa. And he says that John and Jane are last hope for nation building. And of course, we have some business tip to share with you now today. Let's look at how you will treat your customers, or how you should treat customers. Now, customer service is one of the very vital part of a business. Most people don't buy from people or don't patronize people's product anymore just because of the way they have been treated. Now, it is true that everybody at a point in time gets a bad day. You will have a bad day. Things wouldn't be going just the way you planned when you're having a bad day. But it doesn't mean you should take it out on your customers. Now, in a world where online business has become one of the things of the days, it's really that much normal to run an online business or buy something online. It is important that we possess a lot of customer service, because remember that the person is putting trust in you, and the person is doesn't know you, is taking a risk by giving his or her money to you even before a product is being delivered, or even waiting or trusting in you to deliver his or a product even before making payment. By all means, you have to somehow get the person's attention. Now, one major way of grabbing customers' attention or ensuring customer service is how you do talk to your customers. The way you talk to your customers is the most important thing. Now, I am not saying that you should talk to them and even if they insult you, you should still stick to it. But it is really important that you treat your customers with respect. You know, some people come in to buy from you with so much anger, or probably they are so much on the edge because they have been scammed before. But it is up to you to assure them by the way you talk, to allow them to know that they are in safe hands. Another way that has also been proven to help very well is also to allow your customers to tell you what they really need, especially if you are selling a less descriptive product. You have to allow your customers to tell you what they do need. So if your customer is looking at trying a weight loss product, allow the customer to tell you, I want to lose weight at this particular point, at this particular place. If your customer is trying probably a perfume, allow your customer to tell you the kind of perfume that he or she wants. Whatsoever, allow your customer to give you an exact description of what he or she needs. Now, the reason why I say this or I add this app is because if you hear what your customer really needs, you would be able to tailor the needs of your customer to the kind of thing you are really selling. It will also be able to let you get the best results. Remember that you are not only selling for just anything, but for posterity's sake. You want to be recommended to other people. So it is really important that you give your customers the right thing so they can give you the right result. For you to also have your right review, so you would be able to use it for whatever you want to use it for. And also, don't forget that your customer today is your customer forever. So therefore, you have to make sure that you treat them nice at always. When there are times that your customer is buying in bulk, try to give them discount. When there are times that your customer is not aware, try to give them a gift. Let your customers feel appreciated. Now, another thing customers do not like is when you are trying to push a product on them, when you are trying to force them to buy something. Now, what this actually tells them is you are forcing them to buy something. Probably the thing is not much of that quality that you promise it is. Whatsoever, do not force your customers to buy. Tell them what you are selling, tell them what it does. Try to convince them and just allow them to make a choice. When you force people to buy from you, you turn them off, or what we normally say, you piss them off, and they are not able to buy from you. They wouldn't have the urge to buy from you. But when you give them a reason to buy, they will buy it if they really need it. So on Monday, we are going to continue this particular topic on how to treat your customers. Of course, it's past 3 minutes past 3, and we can wrap up for today's edition of the Rise Up Morning Show. Thank you to everybody who was on our live. Thank you so much for tuning in, and also want to say a big thank you to Daniel, who is behind our Facebook videography. My name is Judith MFR Gwafa, and I will catch you same time on Monday. It's from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. and it will be the Rise Up Morning Show as usual on Radio Guy Online. Stay tuned. Much more educative programs coming your way. Have a lovely, lovely Thursday.
Charlotte and Andrew, who's a mad crying.